How you doing, man?
Doing well. How are you?
Good, man. So I guess at this point you got to be like super excited because you're at the less than 24-hour mark now before the release.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because I've been talking about it for a while, so I don't know if I feel the hype, but yeah, tomorrow is going to be really amazing, just to have it all be available forever.
It finally, the reality becomes truly real now.
Yeah.
So, like, how long have you been working on this book?
Well, I wrote the first version of it when I was 10, and it was just a little a little storybook with pictures and a very, very light story, not too much character development or world building. But I then picked it back up when I was about 30, and I spent the last 4 years really polishing the world and the characters and kind of getting my head around what I wanted to say, and started building the universe.
Wow. So, I mean, this project, naturally a book, a story is going to mean a lot to an author, but I mean, this, going back to when you were 10 years old, this really has to mean, even more.
I think, yeah, I think it means everything to me, honestly. This series is, I don't know what it is, but it's like I thought of these characters when I was so young, and they've changed names, but a lot of their core values and the things that they do within the story haven't changed. And even as the world's evolved, and I even switched to where things happened and the kind of powers they have and stuff like that, but the personalities and the souls of the characters have always stayed the same. So, and they've evolved with me. So it
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is my universe. This is the stuff that's happening in my head when I'm zoning out during conversation, or anytime I have some downtime. I think of a scene or a phrase or a dialogue exchange or something like that. So it's very active.
So, as you were working on this, because it is a part of a series, was it always the plan to be a series, or did you just, once you really started putting things together, did it just, start flowing to you? You were like, wow, I can make a whole series out of this?
No, it's always been a series. It's always been a series. I knew that there were a number of things that would happen, which I won't talk about now, but I knew there were a number of things that needed to happen to kind of frame out the lesson. And so I knew that, okay, we're going to start, before we started, it was intergalactic and everything. I was like, no, we're going to start on Earth. We're going to bring people into a world that they understand and can identify with, and then we'll continue to build and kind of take it out of the comfort zone. So I always knew that there were other alien civilizations that were involved, other galaxies. So I always knew that we'd build into this kind of this whole ecosystem of characters and conflict and all that stuff.
Wow. Now, is this an actual novel or graphic novel?
It's a novel. I do have
Wow.
pictures in there, but it's about 93,000 words of text and then 40 pictures.
Wow. Okay.
And the pictures were really to bring visual life to the world, and I have a background in kind of brand marketing and marketing in general, so I knew that to reach different audiences, I would need different media to engage.
Sure.
So I tried to think as many places as I could in terms of how do we get people interested or intrigued about the story and the characters, even if they don't read,
right.
as we continue to build out. in another direction.
Now, have you thought of that in the future, like possibly making it graphic novels out of the story as well? I mean, because from looking at the artwork, that at first I was like, oh, maybe it is a graphic novel.
So different ways to kind of bring the characters to life more, and
Okay.
I had this idea of doing like a prequel for each character, where it's like a very short novel or a compilation of a graphic novel that gets them to the point where the series starts.
Okay,
So that was one idea for in terms of like printed media, yeah.
And I also like too the YouTube trailer you did. I think that was really, you know what I mean, helpful to get like you were saying, like the characters, that tells you about the characters and brings the drawings to life a little bit. And I never really saw like a book trailer before, so that was really cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the trailer was an interesting journey for me because, you know, I talked to my friends in film, and they were like, oh, we could do this, like, cool trailer, and then it was expensive. I was like, I can't afford a live-action trailer, but I was doing some research on, like, animatics, and I was like,
Okay.
oh, there's ways you can manipulate files and, like, images to make them look like they're moving. You add light, and you can, like, move the layers around. So I was like, I've got this great artist. I know he's an animator. Maybe there's something that we can do with these pictures to, like, bring them to life. So I, like, did a little storyboard, and then I had a lot of help, a lot of support from friends. Like, my friend, she's a voiceover artist, did the voiceover. My friend did the sound design. We had a composer do original music. So it was really... I'm just so I'm so blessed and grateful to have such a great support system because everyone really has like come through above and beyond to help bring all of this to the world.
I mean, that really, like, when you know, people think, you know, you're writing a book and you're bringing your story to life in this book, but I mean, the way you're describing that, that's really, I mean, you took it to a whole new level.
Thank you. I just I don't know. You got to do it all or like don't. I mean, you know, you have to be like really disciplined, totally driven, to like make all that stuff happen. So I think people felt the passion, and they were like, I can do something. I don't know how much it will help, but like I'm willing to do something to help, you know, help Jason.
Right. Now, what was that like for you though? But watching that trailer for the first time when it was completed, seeing your characters.
I think I like freaked out. I think I screamed or something or freaked out. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I'm actually pretty into fashion. I used to work in fashion, and so I buy clothes, I buy shoes, and everything. And I remember when I started shifting my spend over to getting these images done, and same way kind of with the trailer. But I got so excited every time I would get a new sketch, and I got to pick the poses, and they sent me the renders without color, and they sent me the color. I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever! Like, this is real. So, like, all of these milestones, it was crazy. So I'm like getting a picture kind of one every other week or something. I'm sure it's in addiction by now. And then seeing the trailer, I was like, wow, this is crazy.
That's so awesome.
And I'm still
so
kind
awesome.
of in shock. Like, I don't believe it all is happening and it's real. But it's real.
That's so awesome. I'm so excited for you. Now, the one thing I was thinking, because I'm actually kind of big into the world of like comic books and stuff like that, and the whole scene of Comic Cons. Did you ever think of going that route with your book, you know, for promotions or?
Yeah. So honestly, experience is everything. I think in general we're learning that we have to create a physical, real-world touch point for any product or brand or story. you see Netflix and stuff, they do like, you know, whole build outs of like the extended worlds of like Stranger Things and stuff like that. So the thing for me is that I can't do anything regular. So I'll kind of troll Comic-Con and like go around and see what everyone's doing, and then I want to come out with like something interactive, you know, maybe some like virtual reality or something like that, or augmented reality, where it's something people will talk about, you know, because that's just that's just kind of like how my mind works. I'm like, okay, we can do this, or we can do this, and really make a scene or make a splash, start a conversation. So I plan to do it. It's going to take some time.
Yeah, I mean, instead of just being, you know, you see some of these people there, and they're just sitting behind their table, and they got a stack of books there, and they have a banner. I mean, kind of like you did with your trailer for the book. I mean, the way you're talking is, again, taking it to a whole different level.
It'd be cool to have people dressed up. I've been kind of like grooming my friends. I'm like, so I'm going to make costumes, and then I'm going to need you to wear them and walk around the show for me. So yeah, I want it to be immersive.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Because I've done both my daughters are both artists, so we've done like comic book shows around here in the Philadelphia area, and we met like a lot of independent, you know, comic book people in the area who do their own comics and all, and a few of them, they do that, where they have, you know, they brought their characters to life, where they have people dressed up as the characters walking around to try to get attention for their books and all. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely a great idea.
Do your daughters draw their own artwork, or do they do commission work?
They do both. Actually, my older daughter, who is absolutely amazing, and she had gotten a bunch of offers to do some comic book artwork, to do children's books and stuff like that, and she doesn't like doing it for money. She stopped drawing for a year and a half altogether. She just got really freaked out by people wanting to pay her to do her artwork. She's like, I don't like that. It took all the fun out of it for me, and she's like, I don't want to do it. She stopped drawing for a year and a half, and now she just started drawing again. Like, she'll do her own drawings in hiding, and then say, oh, look what I did, you know. But she wants nothing to do with the other, you know, which it drives me insane, and I don't understand it. But you know, I gotta, you know, whatever's going to make her happy, I have to go with. But my younger daughter, who she's up and coming, she was like, so wait a minute, like, I can do this, and people will pay me to draw. Sign me up, I'll do it. She's the exact opposite of. Yeah, she's the exact opposite of my older daughter. So we've done some with her too, but you know, she's just 14 now, but she's done some. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it can be, as a creative, it can be daunting. Like, I find that when I have to think to business, it can be a blocker for my ability to like create more. So like right now I'm working on the second book, but I'm trying to launch, so I'm not able to really like disconnect and get in my zone to where I can keep going with the story. So it's just a balance, but I understand that when you get the pressure of creating and there's deadlines and people are kind of like after you, it makes it can be weird, because I think like writing is kind of a solitary exercise, so you really need to be able to disconnect and do it. And if you don't feel free, I think that's one of the things I always struggle with, is like not feeling free enough to do what I need to do in my own head. But I think that having people involved can definitely stranger than it needs to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's totally what happened. Like, once people started like, you know, here's this, and you know, can you have this done at this point, and you know, this storyboard then, and these sketches then, it was like she got very overwhelmed, and then she, you know, she felt, you know, like you know, is this going to be good enough for these people? Is this what they really want? And it was just too much pressure coming from all directions, and she was just like, nah. She's like, I want no parts of it. She works at the local library. She's like, I'm happy just working at the library. Like, I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you know, whatever works for you.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Yeah. So I was seeing too in the bio, like, where you're taking like your influence of, you know, eventually writing this series. You kind of did that in your, like you said, with you worked in the fashion, and I also saw you did like tech work and work in entertainment. Like you did the same type of thing to get your point across in those different mediums by telling stories.
Yeah, it's I always thought of it as a detour, but I realized it was like an accelerated learning experience because so working in fashion, I love clothes and style, so my characters are I try to make them stylish. I worked for an artificial intelligence company doing marketing, so I had to understand like how the mechanics of what we were building worked. So that was really interesting to learn about the direction of technology and how it, you know, how it could or should help humanity, or how it will be further integrated into our lives. Some of it probably without our knowledge, but and then entertainment was just looking at how people created content and how they distributed content, how they partnered with different celebrities or personalities to amplify that, and then the experience part of it. So it was a kind of over the last 9 or 10 years, just hopping industries, learning about how each one operated within the culture sphere, and then so when I started to develop this, I was like, oh my gosh, I kind of have to use those elements. So I was like, oh, I didn't write for so long, and I wasted so much time, but I guess I didn't because I learned a lot along the way. Learned a lot.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So what was
and all those people from my past jobs. Oh, sorry. I was going to say all those people from my past jobs. You know, all of my old colleagues. They all supported me when I started putting this project out there.
That's awesome.
So it's awesome that they like, oh, this is what you really love. Okay.
So here's a question too. Like, you know, being the fact that this story has kind of gone back to like you said, like when you were 10 years old, what has your family thought that now it's like, wow, like he took it from that all, you know, years ago to this reality of a book and a series now. So is your family like kind of taken off the path, right? Like, you know, really shocked too?
Yeah, I think I don't know who's the most shocked. I think my mom is still very shocked because she believes in me, but she just didn't expect. I don't have a track record of following through on things, but yeah, because I shared these stories with my family when I was young. We have a very tight knit family. My aunts, my uncles, my cousins, so they all know. My dad and my sister and brothers, they all know that I've been writing this story since I was a kid. They know about it. They've read versions of it. And to see it, you know, in their hands like the hardcover, my dad called me and he was like, oh, my gosh, I'm so proud of you, son. I can't believe this. So, yeah, it's been really, really amazing. So much, a lot of love and support.
That's so awesome. Well, Jason, I want to congratulate you on this becoming a reality for you. I mean, it's very exciting. I'm excited for you. I really am.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Now, the book is called Zosma?
Zosma, yep. It's called Zosma.
Zosma. And it's the first part of the series, and the series is called The Lost Children of Andromeda. And where should we send everybody for the information on where to get the book, the trailer?
You can find everything on www.lostchildrenofandromeda.com. We got the Instagram to follow. got the trailer on the homepage, a synopsis, and links to buy the book.
Awesome. Very good. Well, Jason, thanks for doing this, and congratulations again, and much success. And we'll have to have you come back on when Part 2 is ready.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.